this is Jamie with Creations Misfit, and today I'm going to show you how to make my Chicken Trivet Pattern. So what you will need is some worsted weight yarn, and we use 2 strands of yarn held together for this pattern. So you may want to get 2 skeins of yarn or 2 balls, or you can pull from both the center and the outer part, which is what I normally do. I'm not sure, I can't remember how much exactly I used, but I'll put that up here on the screen so that you know about how many yards you need. And that will be the main color. And then for the eyes and the beak, you will need just a little bit of scrap yarn, maybe some black for the eyes, and then whatever color, let me show you here, whatever color you want for around the eyes and the beak and the hair. Just a little bit of scrap yarn. I hardly used any at all. So then for hooks, you will need a size 4mm hook for the beak and the eyes and the hair. And for the body, I'm going to use a 5.5mm hook. I do have a written pattern for this, which I will link below in the description box. And for the written pattern, I wrote this up a few years ago. It was my very first written pattern, and I used a 4.5mm hook because I thought I would need the stitches to be really tight, but I've since changed to a 5.5mm hook. So the preference is yours. 4.5, 5, 5.5, whatever you have on hand is fine. And then some scissors, a yarn needle for sewing in your ends, and an optional stitch marker. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the body. We start in the middle and work out from the body. So start with your 4.5, 5, or 5.5mm hook and your main color. I'm using Big Twist Value from Joann for this one. Most of the time I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. So you're going to get 2 strands together. So I'm going to pull from both the outside strand and also the middle strand together. But like I said, if you have 2 balls of the same color, or if you want to do multicolor, that's fine. You can do that as well. Pull from 2 balls instead of 1. All right, and we are going to start with a magic circle. So if you're unfamiliar how to do magic circle, I will post a link in the description box below for a longer video. But this is how I do mine. I just put the strands over 3 fingers like this, and I wrap it around and do a cross in the back. Okay, and I just kind of hold it down with my pinky, and then I go underneath and over and pull up a loop. And that's your magic circle right there. Now we're going to chain 1 from our magic circle. So I just go under this here and chain 1. You can do the magic circle any way you like. And if you really hate doing it, that's fine. You can just chain 4, slip stitch into the first chain, and then go into the circle that you've made from there. All right, so after we've chained 1, we are going to do 6 single crochet inside the magic circle. Okay, so just go ahead and do 6 all the way around. Sometimes it gets a little bit sorry. It's not really difficult to hold 2 strands together, but sometimes I end up going under 1 or something, but you'll get the hang of it once you keep going. So do your 6 single crochet. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to close up the magic circle. And you'll slip stitch to the very first single crochet you did. You may have to count around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitch to the first. Make sure you get under both strands. And then we're going to chain 1. Now moving on to round 2, we're going to put 2 single crochets in every stitch around. So we will end up with 12 single crochets. So go into that very first one where we did our slip stitch and do 2 single crochet, and then 2 in the next, and all the way around until you have 12. and then we're going to slip stitch to the very first again. I'll do mine off camera and I'll meet you right back. At the end of round 2, you'll have 12 single crochet, and then you're going to chain up 1. And now I just wanted to mention, I didn't mention this before, that we're using 2 strands because I want this to be extra thick. So if you're going to be putting a pan or a pot on it or something like that, that it's extra sturdy. You can also use size 6 yarn and just do 1 strand if you'd like, but this works out well for me. So moving on, we are going to do, round 3. So in round 3, we're going to do a single crochet in that very first stitch. And then we're going to do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So we'll do an increase there. And then we're going to repeat that around. So 1 single crochet in the next, 2 in the next. Repeat that around until you have 18 single crochet, and I'll meet you back for round 4. At the end of round 3, you're going to slip stitch to that very first single crochet, and you should always end with the increase, just so you know. But if you want to count your stitches, you'll have 18, chain up 1, and moving on to round 4. We are going to do a single crochet in the first stitch. Oops. Sorry about that. A single crochet in the second stitch, and then 2 single crochet or an increase in that third stitch. And that's the pattern we will do for round 4. So we'll do 1, 1, and then an increase. And at the end of round 4, you should have 24 single crochet. I'll see you back. At the end of round 4, slip stitch to the first single crochet. You should have 24 stitches. And we will move on to round 5. So chain up 1. We're going to do a single crochet in the first 3 stitches. Just 1 single crochet in each of the first 3. And then we'll do our increase after that. So 2 stitches, or 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And repeat that around for round 5. Slip stitch when you get to the beginning, and you will end up with 30 single crochet after round 5. And moving on to round 6. I hope you know you could just pause the video and do yours and then unpause when you're ready. All right, so moving on to round 6, we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to do a single crochet in the first 4 stitches. You can kind of see how this pattern is going. Okay, 1 single crochet in each of the first 4, and then in that 5th stitch, we're going to do our increase. So 2 single crochet in that 5th stitch, and you should have 36 stitches at the end of round 6. The end of round 6, slip stitch to the first, and we will chain up 1 to start round 7. Now yours might be curling up a little bit. That's totally fine and normal. That's how it's supposed to be, and it might start looking like a hexagon, right? And that's okay too. That's, you know, this kind of looks like it's circular, but it's really not. It's a hexagon shape when it's finished. So that's totally fine if you're concerned. All right, so moving on to round 7, we are going to do a single crochet in the first 5 stitches. I always grab that wrong, the very first one. Okay, so 1 single crochet in each of the first 5. Well, and then our increase of 2 single crochets in the same stitch for the 6th stitch. And that's the pattern you will follow around. And at the end of round 7, you will slip stitch to the first, and then you will have 42 stitches. At the beginning of round 8, we're going to chain up 1, and then we will do a single crochet in each of the first 6 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we will increase in the 7th stitch, doing 2 single crochet in that 7th stitch. And at the end of round 8, you will have 48 single crochet stitches. Make sure to slip stitch to the first when you get back to the beginning. All right, round 9, chain 1 and single crochet in each of the first 7 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then increase in that next stitch by doing 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And you can probably figure out the pattern from here, but I'm going to keep coming back each round just because I know some people like to have that done. So I will keep coming back for each round and letting you know where we're going to be. At the end of round 9, you will have 54 single crochet. The end of round 9, slip stitch to the beginning. And moving on to round 10, we will chain up 1 and then do a single crochet in each of the first 8 stitches, and then do our increase after that. And at the end of round 10, you should have 60 total stitches. Make sure to slip stitch back to the beginning when you get there. Round 11, we are going to chain up 1 and then do 1 single crochet in each of the first 9 stitches, and then do our increase after that and repeat around. And at the end of round 11, you should have 66 total stitches. You'll slip stitch to the very first when you get there. Okay, see you for round 12. Okay, we're going to move on to round 12. This is, oh, I'm losing nail polish here. Sorry. This is about where we should be, almost a handful. And moving on to round 12, chain up 1 and single crochet in the first 10 stitches, but I'm sure you already knew that. We just have a few more rounds of this before moving on. So single crochet in the first 10 stitches and then do an increase of 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Repeat that around, and at the end of round 12 you should have 72 stitches. For round 13, we are going to chain up 1 and we will single crochet in the first 11 stitches and then do our increase in the next stitch, and then repeat that around, and at the end of round 11 you will have 78 stitches. Okay, so after this we just have one more round before we start moving on to the head and the wings. Okay, slip stitch when you get to the end, and then we're going to start round 14, which is our last excuse me, our last round of increases for the body. So chain up 1 and you will do a single crochet in the first 12 stitches and then do your increase after that. 2 single crochet in the same stitch on the 13th, and follow that pattern around. Slip stitch when you get to the beginning, and then we will meet back to start the chicken's head. All right, so at the end of round 14, slip stitch to the very first stitch, and we are going to start the chicken's head for round 15. So we've just done all this part and we're going to start working up on the chicken's head here. Okay, so for round 15, chain 1 and then slip stitch in that same stitch where your chain is. Slip stitch there. Takes a little extra for me because I have the 2 on here, the 2 pieces. Okay, and then slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. So you'll have a total of 3 slip stitches there. All right, and then we are going to half double crochet in the next 20 stitches. So just half double crochet in each of the next 20. And then I will meet you back after that. All right, so after you've done your 20 half double crochet, we're going to move on to round 16. So chain up 2 and turn your work. So now you have the back facing you. And we're going to do a double crochet 2 together. So we're going to decrease here. And if you're not sure how to do that, I'll show you here. We're just going to yarn over and go into this first stitch like we would for a normal double crochet. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then instead of yarning over and pulling through 2 again, we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch because we're going to put 2 together. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and you should have 3 loops left on your hook, actually 6 because we're holding 2 pieces together, but 3 basically, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. If you need more help on doing decreases, I will also put a link to a video I have for decreases in the description box. So we're going to do that one more time here. We're going to do another double crochet decrease, or double crochet 2 together. So yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. You should have 3 left on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so we did 2 double crochet decreases, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 12 stitches, just regular double crochets. Okay, so do your 12 and I'll meet you right back. After doing your 12 double crochets, you should have 4 stitches left here from where we started. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They may be kind of hard to see, but that's okay. So for the next 2 stitches, we're going to put those together with a double crochet again. So double crochet 2 together, or a decrease, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. And then do that one more time in the last 2 stitches. Double crochet 2 together, and that's the end of round 16. So for round 17, let me just look at my pattern here. We're going to chain up 2 and turn. So now we've got the front facing us again. And we are going to do 2 double crochet 2 together twice again. So for the first 4 stitches. So double crochet 2 together once, and then double crochet 2 together for the second time. Okay, and then we're going to do 8 double crochet in between. I'll go ahead and do mine off because I keep grabbing only one strand. So do 8 double crochet, and then at the end we're going to do 2 decreases again. So you'll have 4 stitches left. So do 2 double crochet decreases in those last 4 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of round 17. Sorry, I don't know if I made that clear. Just make sure you do, after your 8 double crochets, do a decrease. I did 1 already, and then do another decrease. Double crochet 2 together. Okay, and then we are going to chain up 2 and turn our work again. So we're facing the back. So for round 18, we're going to do 2 decreases again. So double crochet 2 together to start, and then do it again in the next 2 stitches. Double crochet 2 together, and then we're going to double crochet, regular double crochets in the next 4 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we will end with 2 decreases again. 2 double crochet, 2 together. So there's the first one. Here's the second one. And when you're doing this, it sometimes is hard to see. Like on the end, it almost looks like you have 2 stitches left, but you really don't. You just have that 1 left, and the other is like the chain 2 from the round before. Okay, so at the end of round 18, we will chain up 2, turn our work. And for round 19, we are going to do all decreases. So double crochet, 2 together all the way across, and you'll do that 4 times. There's 1, 2, oops, 3. It's like when I get on camera, everything just splits. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay. And 4. Okay, from here, we're going to just chain 1, don't turn, and we're going to start working down the side of the head. Now, it's not easy to go into these stitches because they're not really stitches. It's just like the chains from the previous round. So we're going to single crochet down, and we need to get 11 stitches in there until we get to the corner where the head and the body meet. So from here down to here, we need to get 11 single crochets in. So I single crochet in that very first one here, and you just go in where you can find space. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trying to space it out. 7, 8, 9. If you have to go into one space twice, that's fine as well. Let's see, 10 and 11. This was my first pattern, like I said, and yeah, well, that worked out fine. But I struggled trying to, explain how to get down into the corner there, but it will be fine if you can just space them out as best as you can and get 11 single crochets there. All right, and then we are going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So the very first one should be in this corner here where the head and the body meet. And we're going to single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so from here we are going to, let me just check the pattern. Okay, we're going to chain up 2, and then we'll double crochet in the next stitch. And then chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that. This is like the side. Let me show you here. This is like the little wing on the side. So we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So from here, we chain up 2, double crochet in the next, chain 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, double crochet in the next, and then single crochet in the next without a chain 1. Okay, so we have 2 little wings, and one more time we're going to chain up 2, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, double crochet in the next, and single crochet in the next. Okay, so you have 3 little wings on the side there. All right, and then in the next 34 stitches, we're just going to do a single crochet. 1 single crochet in each of the next 34 stitches to get around the bottom here, back up to the other side so we can start the wings on this side. So go ahead and just do your 34 single crochets, and I will see you right back. After your 34, we're going to do our 3 wings again. So chain up 2 and double crochet into that next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, double crochet in the next, and single crochet in the next. We're going to do that 2 more times. So chain up 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and single crochet. All right, one more time, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Oh wait, how many did I do? Oh, I'm sorry. Single crochet, no chain 1. Right? Or did I do? Hold on, let me check. No, sorry. Yes, chain 1. I missed one. Double crochet. And then single crochet in the next. All right, and you'll have your 3 wings there. And then from here we have just these few stitches here before we get to the corner. So you're just going to single crochet in each of those across. This one. This was a slip stitch, so these are kind of harder to get into. 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do our 11 single crochets up the side. And then we're going to do, there's 4 stitches across the top. So then you're going to do 4 across the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're confused about where the 11 are going to go, make sure that you still have 4 across the top. Get the 11 stitches in here. 11 single crochets. Oops. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not always easy to find your way. Sorry about that, but there's really nothing I can do. Gotta get the stitches in. 10. And I'm going to put one in this corner here. 11. Okay, and then you're going to single crochet the 4 across the top. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we will slip stitch to that very first corner single crochet that we did on the way down. So single crochet there, or I'm sorry, slip stitch there, and then you can tie off this yarn because we are done with the body. So I cut some pretty long strands so I can tie off and weave in. And now it's gonna, you're gonna feel like, oh gosh, this doesn't feel right, like the head's kind of curled and all of that, and that's totally fine. That's how it is. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's totally fine. That's how it's supposed to be, because then when you look at it from this angle, you see the whole face. All right, so there's our body, and we are going to move on and work on the eyes, the beak, and the hair. Okay, I'm going to tie these in, and I will be right back. Okay, moving on to the eyes, you're going to get your 4mm hook, and you're going to start with, I do black on the inside of the eye, so we're going to start with this interior part, whatever color you'd like to do there, and then also grab your the color that you're going to do for around the eye. So I'm going to start with black, and you're going to make 2, obviously. So I just do a magic circle and chain 1. And then I do 4 single crochet inside the magic circle. 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch to the very first single crochet, but don't pull through yet. All right, so I slip stitch, but before pulling through that last part there, when you have 2 chains on your hook, then I pull through the new color. Okay, so pull through the new color. You can pull on these strings to make it tighter. And then chain up 1. These are kind of hard to work with here, but okay, and then from there you're going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch around, so you'll have 8. So let me find, okay, so 2 single crochet in each of the 4 stitches around. So there's 1. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see with the black. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then slip stitch to the very first. And then you can tie off or cut your yarn. Leave a long strand though so that you can sew this on. All right. There we go. So you'll have all these, and you want to cut the black too. You'll have all these strands in the back. I kind of just pull them tightly and then cut them close. You can also weave them in if you want. I'm a little bit lazy in that regard, and it hasn't, it's worked for me fine so far for this because you're going to be sewing it on. So I just kind of cut them close like that, and then we'll sew the eye on. So go ahead and make your other eye, and then I will meet you right back. Okay, you can set your 2 eyes to the side, and we are going to grab the color that we want for our beak. And we will start with a magic circle and chain 1. And you're going to place 8 single crochet inside the magic circle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then pull your circle and slip stitch to the very first single crochet. Okay, so chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet in the first stitch, that same one where our chain is. And then we will do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around. 1 single crochet, and then 2. And you should have 12 when you get to the end. 1, 2, then 1, and 2. Slip stitch into the very first single crochet. So you should have a little circle here. Now we're going to chain 1, and we will single crochet in the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then chain 1 and turn. And we're going to single crochet 2 together. So just like we did the double crochet 2 together before, we're going to do it with a single crochet. So you go into the very first stitch, pull up a loop, go into the second stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And we're going to do that once more for the last 2 stitches. Single crochet 2 together, yarn over and pull through all 3. And then we will chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do a single crochet 2 together in those last 2 stitches. So single crochet, decrease. All right, and then from there you can, I just do a chain and then I cut my yarn. Make sure that you cut it kind of a long piece here because we're going to use this to sew in our end, or sew on our beak, I'm sorry. All right, so there's your little beak. And from here we are just going to sew these on just like this. You know, mine aren't always even. It just, I do the best that I can. So go ahead and sew them on. I usually do, I don't know, maybe an inch down from the top is where I start my eyes. And then just like maybe around below that, I do my nose. And the beak kind of goes into the circle down here. So go ahead and sew yours on. I will do mine, and then we'll come back and finish the hair, and we will be finished. And just to show you, I just kind of go on the inside of the white part, like, or on the outside of the black, and I just go in and out of each stitch the best that I can. Come back through the back. Then go through the front, and that seems to be enough. So I just go all the way around like that and then tie off in the back. And for the beak here, I just go around like on the inside of each of these exterior stitches. Just kind of go underneath each one. And I do that all the way around. And sometimes I let the bottom of the beak just kind of flip up a little bit. So it's just your preference. Okay, we're coming up to the end here. We just have the hair left. Here's how my guy turned out. Like I said, it's not always perfect, but that's okay. This is a crazy chicken. So I'm trying to find my stitch marker. Okay, if you have a stitch marker, grab that now. And if you don't, that's okay too. It's not that big of a deal, but we are going to place our stitch marker in what looks to be about the middle stitch on the top. So whatever kind of lines up with your beak, just place a stitch marker there. And then we're going to flip our work. And you'll want to get the yarn that you need for the hair. I'm going to do white. So from the stitch marker, you're going to count over 3 stitches, and that's where you're going to insert your yarn. Okay, so I'm just going to insert it like this and do a chain to make sure it's on there tightly. Okay, so from here we're going to chain 3, and we're going to do 2 double crochet. Oh wait, let's see. Yeah, 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so there's 1 and 2. And then we're going to, sorry, I'm trying to look at my pattern here. The sun is shining. Okay, chain 1 and do 2 double crochet again into that same stitch that we just did our last 2. So 2 more double crochet. And I'm just going over this piece in the back. You don't have to do that, but I just do that so I don't have to weave it in. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. And the next stitch is where our stitch marker is. So I'm going to take that out, but you should be there now. Okay, so we're going to half double crochet into that stitch. So do 1 half double crochet into that stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch in the same stitch. Slip stitch. And then we are going to chain 8, and that's to make our loop so you can hang it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch again to secure our loop. And we're going to half double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, so all of that was just in that middle stitch there. All right, and here's a loop so you can hang it if you'd like. And then from here we are going to single crochet in our next stitch, and then chain 3, and double crochet in the next stitch, and double crochet again in that stitch, and then we are going to do chain 1. I'm so sorry, I'm trying to read my pattern here, and do 2 double crochet in that same stitch again, just like we did in the beginning. So 2 double crochet in that same stitch. So there should be 4 double crochet in there all together with a chain 2 in between, or a chain 1 in between. Okay, and then we will single crochet in the last stitch. And then you can tie off. And you will weave in your ends. And so there's the hair for our guy, and you're all finished. Now I do have I'm going to put a picture up now of this chicken that I made with black yarn, and then I did some crazy hair on top because this woman had, the reason I made this in the first place is this woman sent me a picture of her neighbor's chicken and asked me if I could make a pattern that looked like the chicken, and it had this crazy hair. So if you'd like to make that crazy hair, all I did was take a bunch of small pieces, like a little bit longer than this probably, and I just tied them around. Like I just went in where I could, here, wherever. I made a knot, and then I just frayed the yarn. So I just pulled it apart to make it, you know, have those crazy bangs. So if you want to do that, I would just tie it around like that, and you can have some crazy hair for your chicken. But otherwise, that's it. You guys are all done. I appreciate you sticking with me. I know this was a little bit crazy at times because I haven't done this pattern in so long because it was my very first one. But I hope that you liked it, and I hope that you will subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. I have a lot of other tutorials that are a lot better spoken than this one, and I have all kinds of things up. So please like the video, comment below. I'd love to know how this worked out for you or what colors you did and who you made it for, things like that. And please check out my other videos. I will have a lot more coming soon. I'm also going to do a yarn giveaway pretty soon, I think. So you might want to turn on your notifications so that you know when that comes up. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I can't say thank you enough. And I hope that you all have a really great day.